right now. I'm a little scared, excited, nervous. Today I'm going to the church where I got baptized 10 years ago. And I didn't know if I could come back at some point because I lost track like a couple of years ago. And now for a year I've been contemplating if I should just go or not because I felt it, but at the same time I just didn't know if I'm not even necessarily welcome, but if it's okay to come back. And now I've been in church so often in other churches besides the one where I actually grew up in, and it only feels right to go there today. And I was so nervous. I didn't really have a great outfit even. I don't know. I just feel so in between, but I really hope this is going to be an amazing experience again. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's night. So I'm just gonna go in now. Okay, today's ceremony and happening in church absolutely proved once again that most of the things are just solely happening in our heads, and trust the Lord with all your heart and do not lean onto your own understanding, because it was so cute. So there was Sunday service, and then after there's always like a cafe. Like we have church, and next to it there is like a space for all the activities. There's also kindergarten, and like you meet after church to drink a coffee and have some cake. Anyways, I was walking out of church and I like greeted the people that I knew. And it was incredible. And like a woman that I haven't seen in like 10 years probably ran up to me and she was like, "Oh my God, Naima, I cannot believe how beautiful you are. You're such a presence." And oh my God, she was just standing there staring at me and being like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "You're so sweet. Oh my God." Like I didn't know what to expect, but it was like better than I could have ever imagined. And I was so happy. I don't know. It was so nice. And then I sat with them for a coffee for, I don't know, an hour and talked about my travels and what I do in life right now. And oh, it was so nice. I was so happy I went because, like, honestly, on my way there, I was getting so nervous. And then I was in church and I was like 15 minutes earlier. And I just stood there or sat there and I was just thinking, like, my mind was raging and I was trying to focus just on God, you know, like so often we have this storm going on. And I think this is the best way to describe it as well. We have this storm going on and we're in this boat and everything is racking and rocking and we're like, just focus on God. The storm will pass. Like, as long as you're just like straight there, I'm safe. He made that water. He's not gonna like drown me. Not if I don't have to learn something. He's always with me. It doesn't matter. Nothing around me matters. It only matters like what's between the two of us. So I try to like bring myself back to that space whenever my mind went away and my mind drifted. I was like, no, we're gonna take a deep breath and focus on God because everything else does not matter at all. And that was my brain, if someone would judge me, so what? So what? Like, what? Like, even like, maybe that's just me judging. If I think people would judge that I come back, maybe that's just my space. Maybe I need to work on myself then, if I expect someone else to do something like that. Second of all, that is what church is for. No one is without sin. And coming back to God after however long, whatever broke the bond in between you two, coming back is always an option, and it's always for you. And everybody who does not accept that doesn't have doesn't have God fully accepted into his heart. And I talked to someone as well, and we were talking about God and our relationships and all of those beautiful things, and she was trying to explain to me how wonderful it is and how amazed she is and from what space she's trying to live. And I said, yeah, because in the end, it's love. Like, in the end, all that matters is what you do from love, for love, with love. All the other things around it are a decoration and don't really matter. You being filled with love, receiving, like being open to receive, because he always loves us unconditionally. We don't have to work for his love. We work out of love. I feel like being in a relationship to God doesn't save you from sin. It doesn't make you any different. You just don't want to do it anymore because of love, because you love God so much, you love yourself so much that you don't want to do this anymore. And I think that is honestly the most beautiful space I can ever be in. I don't know. I'm looking back at the years prior, and there is no space as peaceful, as calm, and as loving and serene as the space that I'm in right now. Because even when I arrive at like a security check yesterday, and there are 1,000 people, and I'm not exaggerating, 1,000 people in front of me, and it's full, and they're just like, it's such a long line prior to me getting through security through TSA, and my boarding is in 10 minutes. Even then, I was so rushed for a second, because then my brain just went like, you know what, whatever happens. Like, God's got me. I don't, like, if I need to stay for a night in Chicago, so it be. Okay. What? Like, I do absolutely not need to stress about this. I just need to focus on God. And so I started, and there is a difference between being aware of that and actually feeling that. Because while my brain was aware of that, my body was still like, ooh, so many people around me, like, I don't know, kind of like filled with anxiety. So I started singing, and it was so funny. I started singing, like, not loud, but I started singing random words, praising Jesus and Lord, and it helped. I started humming, like, in line. There were so many people around me, and I just didn't care for that moment. And then I started singing out loud, and I was like, Jesus is my rock. Da, 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 da. I don't know. I don't know the words that I sang now, but I just started singing, and the singing calmed my whole system. And I was shocked, like positively shocked, but I was shocked because like 10 minutes later, boarding already started. I was still not through security. I was still in line, but I was like, I don't care. It's fine. And then I got through the line. I got through the security check, and I went to my gate, and I arrived, and they were late. They didn't even start boarding. Nothing's happened. And then I got my pass, because if you're flying internationally, you sometimes get like a new boarding pass where they want to print it out to see if you have all the documents you need to enter the destination. And so I went up to the desk, and the woman was like, can we like weigh your hand luggage, because the flight is so full that we need to have like everything that is heavier than 8 kilos like down in the basement, like in the trunk. And I was like, oh. And so mine was so much heavier. And I was like, oh, so what are we doing now? And she was like, oh, don't worry. You can just check it in for free and just take your electronics out. So I took it out. And I was like, hey, by the way, I think I have like seat, I think it was like 22D. Or no, it was 22F. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And she was like, oh, yeah. Okay, I was asking if it's an aisle seat, because I am 6'2". I cannot sit in the middle. I cannot. Not for like, I think 9 hours was the flight. So I was like, hey, do you know if that's like an aisle seat by any chance? And she was like, I mean, it is, but I could also upgrade you for a space with extra leg room. You're so tall. And she was so cute. She was the cutest stewardess ever. She was like maybe this tall. So we spoke, and I spoke a little bit like this, and she spoke like this. And so we talked. It was so sweet. And I was like, honestly, that would be amazing. And she already printed that new ticket. So she, like, it was not even a question really then. So she already printed that ticket. It was like, have a safe travels. And I was like, I love you. So then I sat there at the gate waiting for my group to board. And I was like, see? I knew you got me. I knew everything's gonna be fine. And it is really exactly like that. It is trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean onto your own understanding. And that's all I can say. Because, like, honestly, only good things can happen from there. And with good, I don't mean my interpretation of good. I don't know what's good or not. I can just trust the Lord to know what's good or not. And I just do how I hope to please him. That's like all I can do, really. And doing things out of love and for love. I feel like that's my mission here in life, maybe. I think that's all of our missions. I think if we would all act out of love, this world. But yeah, I hope this helps a little bit, or gives you a little bit of an insight on how I see the world, and I hope it maybe gives you anything to hear that, because I do not want to represent I'm not the person who is perfect. I don't think there is anyone who's perfect, but I feel like in the Christian space, it is often portrayed, and that's what I saw too, that it's often portrayed as if you have to be a saint in order to go to church, but the church is not there for saints. The church is for sinners. And so I hope it helps to hear that faith is a choice that you make, and faith is also challenging, and that it's trained. Like, not the first time you realize you love God is going to be the last time that you don't trust. You will have moments where you don't trust, and that's okay. as long as you find back to that space of trust. And yeah, I just hope that this gives you a little bit of a, I don't know, peace, understanding, relatability, because I didn't know that it was okay to struggle, but now I do, and I hope you know that too. I love you. Bye.